Detroit Lions 30, Minnesota Vikings 20. Lions already were locked into the number 3 seed, still played it out. This game, both quarterbacks averaged like 9.5 yards per attempt across both of them. It was just, I loved watching this. Like these quarterbacks were averaging about 10 yards per attempt. At the same time, the Patriots and Jets had 13 total completions in their game. Same football. Jared Goff finishes 23 of 32 for 320 and 2 touchdowns, some big plays in the pass game. And then Nick Mullins throws for 396, but of course 2 picks in there as well, with Justin Jefferson going 12 catches for 192 and a score. A lot of big explosive plays in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick Mullins, just a fascinating quarterback because he can move the ball, but it will come with crazy interception/turnover-worthy plays. And
it's like a better version of Desmond Ridder.
But the fascinating thing is they can come anywhere. It's not like limited to, it's not
just the red zone.
He's not one of these quarterbacks that's like calibrated to be psychotically aggressive. So it's not that the picks come because he's trying to be too aggressive all the time. Like he will check down randomly when you would say, hey, push it, like be more aggressive than that. Take the shot at the 10-yard play. Instead, he'll check it down to a running back. It's like he's not just calibrated to be crazy aggressive. He's just bad in terms of terrible decisions sometimes. It's weird. But it does result in moving the ball a lot and some wildly high variance offense from him. So, yeah, but the big thing, I guess the starting point for this game has got to be the Lions did play their starters. They were trying to ride that momentum that we talked about. Like all that came true. They called a pass play to Dan Skipper just to really, troll the NFL. But they also got punished for it. They got Sam Laporta a touchdown. He broke all kinds of records in this game, rookie records for tight ends. Jahmyr Gibbs also got a touchdown. So they became the first pair of rookies ever to each have double-digit touchdowns in the season. So Gibbs and Laporta.
17-game schedule era. Real impressive, Sam. Real impressive.
I forgot the way no records now count in week 17.
Yeah, they should have done it by week 17.
Yeah, got it. So those don't count.
Good job.
But anyway,
that was impressive.
Point being, they got him his touchdown. They got him all kinds of records, put him up there with Gronk and Ditka for all-time seasons. And then Sam Laporta goes down with a knee injury on like a routine slant route. Guy jumps on his back and his knee just got caught in the turf. The diagnosis appears to be basically the same diagnosis as Travis Kelce's preseason injury. So it's like a sprain and a bone bruise or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Kelce played the next week, but you could tell he was missing a little something.
And usually the guy doesn't play the next week for that. So
right.
Either he plays in the first playoff game but probably isn't the same guy, or they give him the rest in that game, hope they win it, and he plays the next week. Either way, it looked like it was a season ender immediately. It's like, oh, that's a knee injury pop. Like
Khalif Raymond was also limping off. I don't know what ended up happening with him, but he had a 41-yard reception. We know.
And a big punt return.
Yeah, big punt return. You know how much we love Khalif Raymond here. So, I mean, those are 2 legitimate playmakers, of course, for the Lions. One other stat I just wanted to bring out here. 2 weeks ago they played, right? And we've been talking a lot about Brian Flores and the blitz and the whole thing. And 2 weeks ago, Goff and the Lions torched the Vikings blitz. And so what was going to happen in this game? Well, the Vikings they blitzed even more. And Goff finishes 21 of 30 against the blitz.
30 against
21
the blitz.
Of 30. I mean,
right.
He only dropped back like 35, 40 times.
This is
not even.
Brian Flores has already set. I
got to find this percentage.
That's what I'm saying. Brian Flores, I think, has already set the all-time record for blitz rate in a game. I think this just exceeded it.
21 of 30 for 310 and 2 touchdowns. So for the season, Jared Goff against the Vikings blitz, and the season being the last 3 weeks here, Goff goes 43 of 55 for 493, 3 touchdowns, no picks against the Vikings blitz.
Their blitz rate in this game was 91%.
There you go. Beautiful. Well done.
91% blitz. And again, so it felt like
it didn't work.
No, it didn't. But for the last few weeks, it has felt like the Vikings defense badly needs they need a bell, like between rounds and a fight, where you just need to regroup and come back. Like, they are desperately waiting for the bell. Only for them, there isn't one. It's just the end of the season. Because the defense has just been on the ropes for the last few weeks. It's like teams have finally figured out how to beat it. And the Lions did it most spectacularly. I mean, there was a play in this game where they're running like a double move, and it's Khalif Raymond one-on-one with Josh Metellus. And you're like, dude, that's broken scheme. That's bad. That shouldn't happen. That's not good. And the Lions are finding it.
We were giving Flores a ton of credit. Mostly because
I think he's done a good job.
Because talent-wise, they shouldn't have been as competitive as they were for most of the season.
I mean, I think the smoke and mirrors work that he's been doing this season has done an amazing job overall. But I think the last sort of, 4 or 5 weeks of the season, I think he just like ran out of smoke and mirrors. Eventually you can misdirection only works for so long until teams get a handle on what you're doing, how you're misdirecting, where to keep your eyes instead of the thing. Like, don't look at the hand waving over here, focus on whatever. He just ran out of tricks, and eventually teams figured it out. And from that moment on, the defense is just playing catch up, and the talent disparity is showing up, right? Like, they're just not actually that talented on the defensive side. And once the scheme stops having an advantage, now you're just one-on-one, Josh Metellus against Khalif Raymond, and that's not going to go your way that often.
All right, so what's happening going forward here? Viking season over, of course, but the Lions, man, they're hosting the Rams. Matthew Stafford's return to Detroit. I love this. I was rooting for these matchups just for the entertainment value. So Stafford going back to Detroit on Sunday night against the Lions. That also set up Packers-Cowboys as a matchup. I mean, this is
great narratives.
This is beautiful. This is as good as it gets. One other thing to highlight here, Jared Goff finishes one of his best regular seasons, his best regular season since 2018, when he did help lead the Rams to the Super Bowl that year. Goff was our highest graded quarterback through week 10. He hit this 4-game stretch where he was not good whatsoever. But the last 4 weeks, he's been good again. He's been very streaky this year. If he continues this through the playoffs, of course, the Lions are dangerous. Hoping Sam Laporta and Khalif Raymond get healthy and can play, because this Lions team, when they are all healthy and the offensive weapons with Gibbs out of the backfield, with Amon-Ra St. Brown, I mean, they are #fun to watch, difficult to cover. I can't wait to see Dan Campbell in a playoff game. The decisions he's going to make, it's going to be great.
Just under half of his turnover-worthy plays came in that 4-week stretch where he just ran off the rails for some reason. And then outside of that, I mean, he's genuinely he would be an MVP candidate, if not front runner, if you swap those 4 games with just 4 average games. Like, he had a 4-game skid where he looked bad. And outside of those 4 games, he hasn't just been good, he's been rivaling any MVP candidate this season.